Hello, everyone. We are the Gratitude Girls.
The Gratitude Girls are in the house. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Hi, Laurie. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good. Well, here we are, fashionably on time at 8:41. I think within 10 minutes, 8:42. That's still fashionably on time. So we were making a decision. Tonight, we're going to talk to you about what we just did. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ra is in the house. Catherine Asaro Myers. I'm broadcasting to you live tonight from Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, Canada. My amazing partner is doing the tech. Right now, she's typing away and looking at the screens and doing what she has to do. And if you're okay to introduce yourself, if not, I'll be happy to do that, Laurie. This is my amazing Gratitude Girls partner, Laurie Del Perdecki. Okay, she's going to type. I'll do it for her. Laurie's in Columbia, Tennessee. This is an international call, and we are here to coach and train you tonight for free on the subject of pivoting and making on-the-spot decisions. We're going to stay live for about 10 minutes, 11 minutes. So in this 11 minutes, you can hear exactly what we just did, and then you let us know if you ever make a quick decision in your life. Does something come up sort of across your desk, so to speak, or across your mind where you have to make this decision? Well, here's what happened. We'll give you a process. Something comes up for us, and we know, first of all, we're aligned. We do not even have to speak. So if you're lucky enough to have that, amazing. If not, talk to us. We'll talk to you a little bit about how to find that and attract it. So there's a decision to be made. We know it, we feel it, and we're on the same page. It's sort of like what happens with my husband, right, Laurie? And your husband too. If it doesn't happen like that, there's some friction, and we don't have that. So step one is we know there's a decision to be made, right? How was that? Does that feel, we'll go step by step. Does that feel the same for you?
Right. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Like that was the first thing that we talked about when we got on the call today is we had a decision to make.
Okay, so we both identify clearly that we have a decision to make. So that's on the table. It's not, we're thinking about this and maybe that. We outline it. We make sure it is clear. Then we go through the options. So we look at options, and then we'll look at emotions second, right? We'll look at the facts. Laurie and I both look at what are the options, what are the choices factually that we can achieve. And we know how to stretch ourselves, and we know how to think outside the box. So we're okay with, well, I don't really know how, but how do we achieve it? So is that how it is for you, Laurie?
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we did. And then we looked at different facts from other people that have done it, other success stories, and we compared a few different ones. And then we figured out what we wanted to do.
Right. And we looked at our market, our niche, and what our niche has been asking us for. So this decision is based on the reoccurring inquiries that we're getting. So we thought what we would do is actually take an action. Okay, so we outline the situation, we look at the possibilities, the ones that seem logical, even if they're out of our reach. Then we take a little emotional check-in, and we see how we feel about it. Like, how does that feel? And does that make you feel good? And right? When you sit up straight, when you smile. So we do that with ourselves and with each other. And we look at each other. We stare into each other's eyes to make sure that we're making that connection. And that connection is still there. We read one another, and we're sensitive to how the other person is feeling. Is that how it is for you, Laurie?
Right. Yes, absolutely. Totally agree. And that's why Zoom is so great, because you see each other. You can like see into each other's soul, right? So you can see when people are lying or when they're saying something just to say it, just to appease you, or just to try to slide something by in a demonstration or whatever, right? You can literally see into people's souls when you are on Zoom. That's why it's so great.
Right. And we're tapped into that. So we know we have a decision to make. We go with the logical aspect. We look at the emotional aspect. Now it's time to implement. And now we outline, wireframe the implementation. And we review what is the process that we have, the process that we're going to implement, what's the difference, Is there a difference? And first and foremost, what is the value to our clients and customers? Is there added value? Is that what it was like for you?
Right. Yes, absolutely. You always want to give value, and that's, one of the things that I always said in my company, that I started in 1993, and it's just, if you're not giving at least 100%, a lot of people say they give 150%, but really 100% is the top. So, right. So in reality, if you're not giving 100%, you shouldn't be doing it, period. But, but that's it. When you love what you do, and I know we both do, and that's it. It comes from a heart and soul passion, and we easily give our all. And we do give 150%.
Well, we give 200%. It's 100% each.
That's right.
So after you go through that heartfelt and that heart center of giving and gratitude, and you're thinking of the implementation, and you're thinking about, okay, the value, am I giving value? Then you sit with it for a minute. Some people, you sit with it for a second, some a minute, some 5 minutes. That's what we were doing live just before this call so that we could come on and talk to you about it. Do you change your mind once you make up your mind? We do not. We make up our mind. So Laurie, what about someone who says, oh, but I spoke to my so-and-so and they told me, like, does that happen between us?
Right. With us, that doesn't happen because both of our spouses support us completely in our businesses. Like, I know my husband, and I know you said it with your husband too. Both of us, our husbands like us to be off work and do stuff with them, but they also both support us in whatever we want to do. But they both said they only want us doing what we absolutely love. And that's so incredible because we get to do that. We get to do literally what we absolutely love and what God has called us to do.
Right. And there's no struggle at home with us on that. So whether it's a family member who you live with or don't live with, whoever is the person that is influencing you and who you are influencing, we apparently are influencers in our family because we have this support. So we make this decision knowing we are not going to have any pushback on it. Now, this doesn't mean that we are not open to conversation about something in case we might have overlooked it, but we are pretty thorough. Laurie and I really don't overlook anything. And when we implement, we're in action, we're already going, we're already doing. So we're already have seen ourselves going past it. So the process to making a quick decision is to feeling secure. And it's not just about the decision. It starts with the home. Our support at home does not give us any opportunity to second guess ourselves. Aside from the fact that we're professionals and we've done this business for decades and we know all of that, we don't get influenced or swayed, and we get encouraged and cheered on. If you're fortunate enough to have that, then you know what we're speaking about. If you don't have that, then talk to us, because that needs to be a mindset that you need to be able to navigate and still live with the same partner. Because if your partner doesn't agree with you, what is your choice? Learn how to have your partner understand you. That's really what we're aiming for. So when you're going to make these decisions and you're going to decide, what am I going to do? Who's going to support me? What happens if they change my mind? What happens if I change my mind? Well, you will have wasted your time. In the case of making a quick decision. So I'll say that again. So if it didn't land right with you, you'll know what I'm saying. We're in the process of making the decision. So we've decided we're making the decision. We didn't decide to see if we're going to make it. So we're in the mode of action, and then we take the action, and then there's a point of no return. Is that the same way for you, Laurie?
Right. Yes, exactly. And we already looked at, like, we already decided we're making the decision, but we already brought up some successful, things that we looked at. We also brought up some obstacles that we might face, but then we came up with the conclusion to solidify our decision.
Right. And then if you want to, if you with yourself and you're doing this, you want to outline them, you want to understand what it is that you're doing. If you need a coach, of course, I'm going to say that, right? Because we coach each other. So we coached each other. So the answer would be you absolutely need a coach in that decision making process, because we just did, and we coached one another, because making it alone by ourselves in our office or our bridge room or our gratitude girls room is not the easiest way to do that. So then you find someone, you find a coach who's going to go through that with you, and then you start to implement. And we can give you some examples. I'm looking at the time to make sure that we don't go over. Then you can create the marketing piece for that, or the conversation piece for that, or the presentation for that. And we'll give you examples of that in this group over the next couple of days. And if you want to, I guess, mimic this in your business, then we can share with you how to do that. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And yes, and then you just get ready and you push forward because you've already made that decision. And so, yes, if you want to know more about the decision we made, contact us. And if you need help in making that decision, the same thing. You want to have a coach that's going to ask you those hard questions, because Catherine and I ask each other the hard questions. We know we don't worry about stepping on even each other's toes, because we know we would rather both of us be truthful and hard truth to get to the points that we need to get to the decision making and to get to the success that we want to get to.
Great point, Laurie. That is such a good point. We ask each other the hard questions and we give each other the answers. When you find someone in your life, or if you don't have someone in your life like that, put it out to the universe. Attract that person, find that coach, that person who's going to give you a way to face the truth, which is what we do with one another. Laurie, if somebody's interested to know a little bit more about how to get with us, do you want to give that information so we can stay true to our 10-minute live?
Yes, absolutely. So if you are watching this and you want to get on with us, we are fixing to go into our, what we call our private dining room. So that is where our private one-on-one coaching and training for our small group coaches, people that are in our coaching and training. So join us, go to gratitudegirls.com/coaching. You can see the options there. You can also, if you have any questions, go to facebook.com/gratitudegirls. Make sure to like and follow our page and add us to your interests so you don't miss the message. But then send us a message there and we will get back with you. Make sure you leave your contact information and the best way for us to reach you.
We're really looking forward to hearing from you and how you make your quick decisions in a split second. Laurie, let's go on to our private dining room.
All right. Good night, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Good night. Thank you.